Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kop-Ish.
Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to another live match preview. This time it is for the juicy tie. Two of Europe's most successful teams of all time. Liverpool have 6 Champions League trophies to their name. Real Madrid have 13 Champions League trophies to their game. They're almost a combined 20 Champions League trophies. This is going to be a huge game. History between both clubs. 08-09, Liverpool did the double over there. 2017-18 in the final, Real Madrid captured another Champions League trophy. And now we're back again here in 2021, about to play them in the quarterfinal of Champions League. Massive shout out and a welcome to Steve and Wahome from Yanks of the Kop. If you haven't already, go over there and subscribe as well. And shout out to Samo, who's a Real Madrid fan, who's come on to give us a bit of an insight into Real Madrid on their season and what we should look to expect from them coming into this game as well. So a nice, fun-packed show for you guys. But before we get started, please make sure you smash the like button and do subscribe if you haven't already. So just going to start with a super chat here from It's Finners. First things first, you man grab a Morley on me for that Arsenal post-match stream. Straight vibes, #team Kop-Ish. I can't do Morleys at the moment. I'm on a diet, as you guys probably know, but I'm missing Morleys. I may have a wing. I might have a wing. How about that? It's compromise.
I will, Finn. I will.
Oh, thanks, Drew.
We'll eat that for you, bro. Don't worry. I'll eat in your honor.
Guys.
I'll eat in your honor, bro. Don't worry. I order 2 meals. I'll have one now and one later.
So selfless. Thank you, man. Where'd I be about you, man? Drew, where'd I be about you guys?
Well, it's all we can do for a very generous contribution for Finn.
Yeah,
very true.
I'll be tucking it, or maybe some pizza. How about that? So we have some pizza, Cal?
I can't. I'm one cheat meal a week at the moment. Told you I'm cutting weight.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll get a tear and share on you then.
Oh, you're killing me right now.
He's taking liberty. Man said,
I'm playing. In fact, you know what? I know your family around you are probably just eating normal anyway.
They are, yeah. They are.
So it's not just us.
Man said tear with no share, bro.
By the way, Easter was not a good time to pick to go on a diet.
No, it wasn't.
For real.
It wasn't at all. But yeah, we're here now. But Steve, we're going to start with you. First and foremost, obviously, we know that you're in America, so thanks for making time for us and getting up extra early to do this. Liverpool versus Real Madrid, probably the glamour tie of the Champions League at the moment. Not necessarily the two best teams. Who do you think has the advantage going into this game, considering form, injuries, and personnel, etc.?
Yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, I think Liverpool has the advantage. You know what I mean? I mean, you look at our form before the break before the international break, and then coming in to Arsenal. I mean, we absolutely throttled Arsenal. And for me, I was looking at that Arsenal game as the first test for Phillips and come back against, you know, some pacey strikers. And they completely passed that test. Fabinho, I don't even think Odegaard touched the ball in the second half. Now, especially having Jota back in the mix, and we saw the impact he made when he came on. You got to think that Liverpool has a little bit of an advantage, especially with no Sergio Ramos for Real Madrid. I don't think they've lost in the Champions League when he's been playing in both legs. So they're really going to miss his leadership back there. So I think, especially with the addition of Jota, you got to think that Liverpool has a little bit of an advantage here, even though the first leg is at Real Madrid.
Great shout. Matt, same question to you. Who goes into this game with the advantage?
I don't think there's any advantage. I actually think it's kind of a level playing ground, because the reason I say that is this: they've got no Sergio Ramos, who's obviously he's their leader. We've got no Van Dijk. They do have obviously Karim Benzema for me, who is their talisman right now. We've got Jota, who's right now fit and firing. He's on smoke right now. And I also feel like as well, Liverpool in the Champions League, you don't know what animal you're going to get, because you could get the Liverpool that kind of showed up against Arsenal and a Liverpool that showed up also against Atlanta as well. Or you could get a Liverpool that just kind of crumble, where they just look like they're off the pace and you're like, what's going on? So, and with Real Madrid, they've had an indifferent season, again, because of injuries for them. Don't think they've had as many as ours, but they still had key injuries as well. But they're still a very dangerous team. They are. But I just kind of feel like, all in all, when it's all said and done, I still believe we have more weapons. So maybe I'm going in between. So when I think about it now, maybe it does go down slightly to us. Maybe to us, ever so slightly.
Fair enough. Obviously, both defences aren't at their best at the moment. And I think, Steve, you said it quite rightly that Arsenal was Kabak and Phillips' first big real test. We're home. Do you think that they were actually testing that game, or do you think they still have a lot to prove going forward?
I think they have a lot to prove, because I don't, Arsenal were terrible. As good as we played in the second half, Arsenal never, Lacazette finished that game with 0 shots on target or 0 chances. So, I think going to that game,
music to my ears, that is.
I think going into that game, Arteta got it totally wrong in how he set up Arsenal. Because obviously, I think he shouldn't have played Aubameyang on the left. It never works when they play him and Lacazette. So I think, from what they had to do, they did it really well, Phillips and Kabak. But I've been saying for quite a while now that I don't feel they've really been tested yet, 100%, since they've been playing together. Even when we played Wolves, I thought Wolves had a good number 9. They could score in that game.
For sure.
And it wouldn't have been a 1-0 win for us. So, while I think they've been really good, I haven't jumped to the bandwagon as some people who are calling Nat Phillips, Maldini, or Kabak, the next Beckenbauer, but I do feel they've done really well, for what they've had to do. So I think against Real Madrid, that's going to be much more of a bigger test, because, Benzema has been in electric form. He's really carried the mantle for Madrid since Ronaldo went. Asenio's come back into form. He played really well against, I think he's got 3 goals in the last 2 games. So he's looking good. Vinicius Jr., although he's not scored a lot, he's still very pacey and a massive threat. So we need to watch out for him in terms of his pace. So it's going to be much more of a bigger threat. And as we, Real Madrid just a Liverpool come alive in the Champions League. So I think Phillips and Kabak, the one benefit is because it's just Benzema up top in terms of goal scoring. He's the only one that's, in terms of amount of goals that scored between Madrid players. I think he's quite far ahead than everyone else. So if we can just silence Benzema, then overall we should have a bit of a more advantage, because he's the main goal scoring threat. And I think the best way to do that is obviously to cut off the supply, stop Toni Kroos and Modric from running the game. So I think it will be hard, but I think Kabak and Phillips, if they can just stay concentrated and deal with any kind of crosses that Madrid will try and do, then they should be fine, with being in front of them.
Drift, same question to you, bro. I mean, do you think Phillips and Kabak are equipped enough to deal with this Real Madrid current attack at the moment?
Quick enough, no. Maybe intelligent enough, or they can keep their partnership going. Yeah, you know what I mean. I agree they haven't been fully tested yet, and it's kind of early, so I'm not going to start doing the whole banter thing like I'm being serious. I don't really think anybody has really tested them, even though Aubameyang and Lacazette should have, and they are good players. But obviously Arsenal didn't play well in the game against Leipzig. They played really well together, but again, Leipzig didn't really do much going forward against us in that game either. This will be the test. This will be the test. You know what I mean? I said I'm giving Kabak to the end of the season to really give a full judgment on him. He's playing a lot better than he was before, and I'm just happy with that at the moment. I'm not going to get carried away and say that he's completely just, become this guy that I want to give it to the end of the season. But currently, I'm very happy with him now. I don't have any problems at the moment. He's doing his job. I see man doing the Tootsie roll on the on the, you know what I mean, on the touchline and passing it back to Alisson. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. I didn't even know you were capable of doing all this. So, you know what I mean? But Benzema will be a real test. That will be a real test. You know what? Not about pace, bro. It's about movement. That's what's going to be the test. Benzema is he's an assassin when it comes to the movement. And we all know movement is one of the key things that gives defenders problems. Pace is obviously an obvious kind of like threat. Movement. That's what used to make Firmino so deadly. Movement. And I feel Benzema's movement is going to be, if they can keep up with him, then I know they've also got the intelligence to go with the actual, you know what I mean, ability. So yeah, man.
A couple super chats here. So John Conway, good afternoon, guys. Real Madrid 1 at Liverpool 2. Thank you for your super chat, John. We're going to get score predictions before we finish the stream today. Stephen Somerville says, congrats lads on 20k and thanks for giving us fans a voice from this channel, and big up Yanks to the Kop. If we can beat Real Madrid, it's been a great week. Fully agree.
100%.
Edward says, Benzema and Valverde are the players we need to be very wary of. Valverde is their most important midfielder, in my opinion, not Kroos or Modric. Militao in for Ramos. I don't think Valverde is fit for this game.
I might be wrong.
I think
they could be playing mind games with us, though, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, he made the 21-man squad they announced this morning.
Fair enough. And then Demo Dre says, Nat Contri per 90 minutes in 2021 forward passes, 23.3 fourth club rank. Aerial duels, 8.1 first. Clearances, 4.3 first. Headed clearances, 2.4 second. Blocks first. I mean, we're home. I'll be honest. I'm one of those fans who's been saying now, Dini. I am.
I see it.
I'm one of those.
I've been watching.
You know what's mad? Speaking of that, yeah. I rewatched the second half of the Arsenal game. Yes, I did. That was how happy I was to beat up them boy there. There was a point in about the 85th minute, I think it was, something like that. I can't remember. And I honestly, no, it weren't even that. I don't even know who it is because he was so out of it and all the medical team around him. I don't actually know who it was. But Phillips and whoever this brother was went for a ball right down near where the managers are.
Martinelli.
Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Nat cleaned him out. When I mean he cleaned him out, I mean he cleaned him up. But when you watch it, Nat should have been the one hurt because he was the one who it was more. And all he did is just put his hands on his knees and he just went, whoa! He just shook it off. So after, if it was on that, man had the whole medical team around him. I was like, hey, this is what I'm talking about. Nat's old school, man. He don't care about nothing. He don't care about nothing. So if you want the ball, you're gonna have to kill me. And that's what I like about him, man. That's what I like about him. Old school, man. Them park footballers, but not in a bad way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, the man there where you don't, there isn't an ambulance around. I don't really want to play against that guy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really want to play against that guy. Like, we ain't got a medical team. This is Sunday football. I'm just going to have to walk home with one foot. Not really feeling it. You know what I'm saying? So, love it.
Boy. Samo, Samo, I think you're muted, Samo, but I'll ask a question first. As our resident Real Madrid fan for this game, I'll be honest, a lot of Liverpool fans, myself included, think that you guys are in the best of situations right now. Are we being disingenuous? And also, are we suffering from a lack of knowledge, considering, I'll speak for myself, I don't watch that much illegal football anymore. Are Real Madrid still as dangerous as they have been in the past? Samo, you there? Samo. All right, I'll come back to Samo. In fact, I'll ask that to you, Steve. Real Madrid, obviously over the years they've had the Galacticos, they've had Ronaldo online, they've had Cristiano Ronaldo, Figo, Raul. The names just, they roll off your tongue. Some of the best players to ever grace a football pitch. Zidane. They don't have those sort of players now. I mean, you look at their front three, and without being too disingenuous, Asensio, Vinicius, and Benzema. Apart from Benzema, you could argue the other two don't get near our team. You could argue neither of them even come close to starting as well. Do you think that we're underestimating Real Madrid a bit?
I mean, personally, I don't think we are, but I think as a fan base, there is a lot of people who are underestimating this team. I mean, there's a reason, they may not walk into our team necessarily, but there's a reason why these guys play for Real Madrid. And these guys are literally the, premier, the Champions League darlings, as you could say. I mean, they have the most championships. They always seem to be there. And, similar to us, they're not having a great year, but they still find themselves in the final 8. So you cannot just take a pass on these guys. And sure, they don't have Ramos either, but there's a lot of different points in this match where I think there's a lot of key matchups. Trent on Vicinis, can Trent shut down that pace? Can Fabinho and Thiago shut down their midfield? That's another huge battle. And then can our front three have that constant movement and really cause problems for that back line? But I don't think we can sleep on them, especially playing at Madrid in the first leg. If we don't get an away goal, anything can happen in that second leg. One goal can change anything. So I think we'd be making a huge mistake if we just thought we were going to come in here and just steamroll these guys.
Very true. Just staying with one of the comments you made there, Steve, midfield. A lot of people seem to think that the game's going to be won in midfield in this game. Obviously, we'll do predicted lineups, but I think most of the fan base predict, especially after James Pearce's tweet saying that he reckons Wijnaldum will start this game. Do you think that our midfield of Gini, Thiago, and Fabinho is now better than Modric, Cruz, and Casemiro? So, I mean, Matt, I'll ask you this question. Do you think our midfield 3 is better than their midfield 3 on current form?
On current form, what
Morley's getting there?
All right, let me start off with Morley first.
I know.
I don't know.
Mount
taking long.
He went to order it. He went to order it. Don't get it.
No, that's what it is. No, not yet. I'm going to order some Morleys after this. No. All jokes aside, I think, you see our midfield, yeah? I think if you're talking about current form, how many times have Thiago, Fabinho, and Wijnaldum played together? I think maybe as a collective, I still think that they probably are. But you still can't take away from Moose. What am I putting the names together? Sorry, Cruz, Modric, and Casemiro. Moose,
Musamiro, is that what you're saying, mate?
Oh, they're combined into one like some Power Ranger or something.
Listen, we know you're not yourself when you're hungry, bro.
Hey, listen, the belly's cutting. I can't even lie. Hey, let me go order that food. 1 sec. No, I'm joking. No. Do you know what? The thing is, they've had an outstanding game against Arsenal, but we know Arsenal aren't Real Madrid. So I don't want to just jump on the basis of one outstanding game that they've all played together. Do you know what I mean? Because let's be real, we've had a very indifferent season. This is only a couple of games since Fabinho's really been put back into the 6. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I still think we have the best combination because I think Fabinho is the best number 6 in world football. I do generally think he's better than Casemiro. I also feel like Thiago is the best deep line playmaker in world football as well. So you kind of weigh that up. So the only one that I wouldn't say is necessarily on their level, but he's still great, is Gini Wijnaldum. So if you look at it from that perspective, I think it's those 3 outshine the Real Madrid 3.
Well, Holmes, same question to you, bro.
I think I can hear what Matt's saying. I think obviously from Madrid side, they would say that Modric, Casemiro, and Toni Kroos are the best. Because they go off and think obviously Casemiro is the best or Toni Kroos. But I think the one thing that we're gonna have, when we look back to the final a few years back, we lost to Madrid. One thing we missed that final was a Fabinho and a kind of like a Thiago player who could control the game. That's the one thing we really missed in that final, and we got really done. I know obviously by Cruz and Modric and Casemiro then by how they controlled the game. So I think the one thing we have now is energy, and I think Madrid's amount of presses they've done this year has gone down. I don't think they press as high as much as other teams around Europe. And I think the thing that with Liverpool, obviously we're very good at pressing and transitioning. I was also even looking at some of Madrid's goals. A lot of their goals they've scored, they've only scored 2 goals from counter-attacking. Otherwise, overall, most of the goals are, where they get crosses in. Because Benzema's only scored 7 headed goals. So a lot of his goals are coming from crosses into the right-hand side. where he scores most of his goals on the right foot. So I think for us, the key thing with us is really ensuring that we dominate the midfield battle. Because even possession-wise stats, Madrid don't hold possession as much compared to Liverpool so far this season. So I think for us, it's the energy that's going to happen. I think if we can outpress them and run them, we should run them ragged in midfield of the park. Because I don't think Kroos and Modric are that much players who like to track back and do much running around and doing the defensive work. As good as they are amazingly in terms of controlling the game, keeping possession and creating chances, Modric, even when he was at Tottenham, wasn't the type of player to track back and do the defensive work. So if we can kind of do an overload where it's just Casemiro on his own having to do most of the defending, then we should win that midfield battle. So it just comes down to us, like if we can show our usual zip, energy, and hunger in that midfield and get in Madrid's faces, and stop them from playing out the back, and so I think individually it's up to debate who's got the better ones, but I would still go and say I think Fabinho is the best and Thiago is the best, but I think it's all about if we can show our usual hunger and pressing, and that's why I think someone like Gini is going to be key in terms of the way he keeps possession of the ball and runs people ragged. And then obviously Fabinho and Thiago are going to be massive in that game as well. So if we can run them, up press them, we should win that.
Great points. Griff, if I was to ask you, who do you think holds the key to our midfield out of the three midfielders you think is going to start?
Well, I'm getting mad feedback.
Mad feedback.
Wait, I don't know where that's.
Yes, come on, nowhere.
Yeah.
Let me mute it. Is it gone?
Yeah, we're good now.
Okay, I'll mute
that's
just
the
in case.
question again, so bro.
Out of the midfield three we expect to start, who do you think is the key man in that midfield for us to really stamp up for it? Yeah.
Oh, Fabinho. This guy there start slapping man at Negan, bro. What he does, bro. Like, what? I don't want to be disrespectful to the Real Madrid team as a whole, because they do have individuals who are obviously quality, and that's why they've done so well over the last, say, 5 to 10 years or whatever. But I do look at their midfield as an individual game and think, I don't, forget the name for a minute because this isn't FIFA. Casemiro does not have it in him to be able to compete with Thiago. If we're talking about let's just go quality for quality. That's just me. If you want to disagree, then that's fine. But Casemiro, I think he's one of them players who does have good games, but I think he's a little bit overgassed because of the team he plays for. I think you put Casemiro in a lesser team, and he's not that great of a player. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. And I think Kroos and Modric don't quite have the legs they used to. And I do expect Gini to have more energy than they do. I do expect Fabinho to have more energy than they do. And I think energy is important. You know what I'm saying? I think energy is important. So for me, I don't think their midfield should be able to cope with us. I just don't. I think their midfield looks great on paper, but football ain't played on paper. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, I expect our midfield to boss this game. Not in a just complete dominant way, but the way we do. We overpower you, we overwhelm you. And now we got Thiago in there, we can outsource you as well. Do you get what I'm saying? And I still believe. Don't listen, let's not let people try to bring him down because he hasn't adapted well as well as we thought he would after being assaulted on his second game as well, yeah? Thiago was the best midfielder in world football, bar maybe De Bruyne. Let's not let anyone try and fool us any other way, yeah? It's real. Forget that he hasn't had the greatest start. If he's on it, we've got that guy in our midfield. So I think they should be more worried about us than we are about them.
Yes, that's the drift I want to speak to. There we go. There we go. There we go. We finally got out of him, Matt. We've got it out of him now, innit?
Nah, I want to see, because we've heard this before. We've heard it before. Has he changed fully? You see Conor McGregor? How he used to talk rubbish and now he's just silent. He just sits there in a press conference now and he's just Let me see what happens. Let's see what happens after the game. Let me see how Diff reacts.
I've got a super chat here from Hey Jude. I think we will draw away and win at home. Believe in hashtag Istanbul7. Also, shout out to Shakar, who's just become a YouTube member of ours. If you'd like to become a member of ours, we get exclusive videos, etc., and much, much more. Do hit the link in the description. You become a YouTube member for a monthly fee. I'm going to try and bring Samo back in now. Samo, can you hear us?
Yeah, you could hear me?
Yes, we hear you now.
Yeah.
All right, so you've probably heard a lot of what we've had to say. You're a Real Madrid fan and you watch them religiously week in, week out. Have we got it completely wrong? Are we completely underestimating Real Madrid at the moment? And also, final question, is Varane world class?
Yeah. Varane is world class to me, but I think this game is a 50-50 game still. I agree with Drifty and Casemiro, right? I don't really rate him that highly. Other than probably goal scoring, I don't rate him. I don't think he's technical enough to play the deep role now. I like more technical defensive midfielders now, like Rodri, Fabinho, them kind of Busquets, they're my type of midfielder, defensive midfielder. So I don't really rate him. But I disagree about Cruz and Madrid. I think they Cruz and Madrid best season in probably the last 3 or 4 seasons. They just do the attack in front of them, so it wouldn't really show now. With Vinicius, Rodrigo, it's not really Real Madrid quality right now. So the Benzema and dies about it. So they Cruz and Madrid best season probably since the 16-17 season when we won the league and the Champions League together. I think we have a better defense, and people think I'm crazy when I say Courtois is the best keeper in the world. I believe it.
Wow. So I do think that is crazy. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
No.
I think Alisson is clear.
What is happening with Courtois? You see the.
Oh god! Just as it was getting juicy.
No.
Just as it was getting juicy. All right. Hopefully you'll be able to come back on these other few technicals. I'm gonna read out super chat and then ask you guys for this.
Would you put Ali over Neuer? Would you put Ali over Neuer?
I think Ali's the best goalkeeper in world football right now.
What about Oblak?
I just wanted to
Oblak's a great shot stopper. Oblak, in my opinion, is the best shot stopper, but I think overall, I think Ali's something else.
What about Ter Stegen as well?
Yeah, Ali's clear.
Clear of him.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
Yes,
you got a lot of love for Ter Stegen.
Hear me out. No. Can I say something? The reason why I'm going to bring it back to Cal.
Yeah.
Said he's clear of Ter
Stegen. I said clear on purpose.
He's clear. No, I think he's better, but not clear. Do you know how good Ter Stegen is?
Yeah,
better.
All right.
Ter Stegen is serious, you know.
All right, let's go through the list then. The goalkeeper. Who's more commanding?
Probably Neuer might be actually.
No, I'm talking about Alisson and Ter Stegen.
Oh, Alisson and Ter Stegen.
Yeah.
I'll probably say Alisson. I'd say Alisson.
Right.
I'll probably say Alisson.
Who's a better shot stopper?
Ooh, do you know what?
Alisson.
I'm gonna be real. It might actually be Ter Stegen, you know. Might.
No. I've got Ali.
Might be. I think it's close. If anything, it's a draw. Because I've seen Ter Stegen. Listen, when it comes to Barcelona, yeah, what you got to remember is this. Now that they haven't got that formidable back line that they used to have, yeah, there's a lot of times when they get peppered. Like not loads because they normally dominate the ball, but there are games when it's like they're under the cosh for a little bit, and you see some shots and you're like, Ter Stegen out of nowhere. Like, bro, when I say this guy's got cat-like reflexes, you know.
Yeah, but I also see shots that he lets in where I'm like, that shouldn't have been a goal.
Yeah, that's true, but let's be real. As great as Alisson is, we can't sit here and say every time there's even been times I'm like, oh, Alisson let that in, but because he's so great, we kind of sometimes I think we turn a blind eye to him. Not that often, but I feel like the same that with Ter Stegen, bro, as well. I'm calling it a draw. I have to give that a draw, personally.
All right, kicking. I may slightly go to
Ter Stegen with both feet. He's the best. He's the best with the ball at his feet, bro. He's the best.
Potentially, yeah, I'll give you that.
He's clear.
You think he's better than City's keeper with his feet?
Yeah, he's better than Edison.
You think so?
With both feet. With both
Yeah,
feet.
he's better than Edison.
With both feet.
I like the goalpost move there. Yeah.
No, I'm just being real.
And then handling, I think Ali's handling is much better than Ter Stegen's. I see people volley the ball at Alisson and he just holds it. He said, "I'm not bouncing this. I'm not parrying it. I'm holding it."
I'm telling you, bro. I don't think it's clear, bro. I actually think they're the same. What is Cal? Yeah, go on.
He's got the best moustache.
That one's not even close.
No, do you know what it is? I have to be real. Ter Stegen for me has always been in top 5 for probably the last 4 years, bro. Ter Stegen is quality, and I don't disagree with you that Ali's better. I think Ali's better, but I would not go say he's clear, bro, because clear is like us comparing Kevin De Bruyne to flipping, I don't know, Thomas Partey. Like that, De Bruyne is clear. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
More Arsenal shade for no reason.
Yeah, of course.
Right, you know what
there's a reason why I said Partey.
You've got a point about how good Ter Stegen is, but even though we shouldn't do this as football fans, I get clouded sometimes when I think about the Barcelona game when we came back from 4-0.
Yeah,
and I can't get that out of my head when I'm thinking about Ter Stegen. He was terrible that night. He was absolutely
know something? All right, here's the flip side, and Callum already knows what I'm going to say.
The Man City.
Remember when we slapped up Roma and Drift?
Different.
This is the Drift, because I'm about to say something what Drift said to me. And
I'm
Drift,
about to be straight away, bro.
Hear this. When he was getting packed, Drift actually said, "Bro, is this the goalkeeper that we're supposed to be getting? He's getting, I don't know, but that Drift. It's not that Drift said he was poor, but Drift was actually just right, he's getting packed and he can't get near anything. And albeit some of them goals were sensational, but this is what I'm saying. In one game, you can kind of look mediocre when the other team just puts everything past you and there's nothing you can do.
All right, if we break down the 4 goals we scored against Barcelona that day, the first goal, he should have saved that and held that from Henderson.
That's true.
I think it was the second goal, he let under his body from Gini. So that's already 2 goals out of the 4. Yeah, I don't think he could have saved Gini's header, and he didn't organise his defence for the 4th goal. He's at fault for 3 of the goals.
But Cal, you're doing what you don't normally do. You're kind of looking at one.
No, I'm only saying this because I think we picked out the Barcelona. I'm only doing that. Look, Ter Stegen's a top quality goalkeeper. I just think for me, Alisson's the most complete goalkeeper in world football.
No, he's top quality. I'm saying I shouldn't
that's a fair comment to say.
But it does, and I can't help it. I can't. Every time I think of Ter Stegen, I just think about him getting swallowed by the atmosphere at Anfield, and it does just cloud my judgment. But you're right, he is a very, very, very good goalkeeper. He is.
Yeah.
And it was Alisson's catching that I was worried about before he came. And then he proved he's actually great at that. So those Brazil games I watched him in, he must have just been on a samba thing. I don't know. Maybe he was, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know.
They're both quality. Alisson better though. But to stay
a couple super chats. James Anderson, peace, my G's. I'm feeling like it's going to be a rampage like when we slap them over 2 legs. Plus, Obama what? Obama you. Drifty, say the rest for me.
Obama blood clot what? They've got to stop calling him a tampon, by the way. Bad man.
Sean says, missed the live 20k episode. Big grats to Team Kopish. Best community out there. We move 50k with the eyes emoji. We're working on it. We're working on it. And Mill John, a massive, massive thank you for your huge contribution. Really appreciate that. Didn't need to do that. Truly humbled by that, and thank you so much, Emil. Thank you very, very much.
Definitely. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that.
I think I've got my medal.
Yes, indeed. Khalid, Wagwan lads, hope you're all good. Enough love, Drift. Well, no love for me, Matt. We're home, Steve.
Just one man up in it. We just don't count.
No, but remember, it's because he agrees with some of my coming for me. So it's just like he's got my back. Remember, you lot team up on me all the time, you know. That's why you do.
Don't play victim, Drift.
You bring out yourself.
The people know the truth. Don't play victim. Sorry, Samo, can you hear us again?
Samo? Yeah, I can.
Cool. So yeah, you were saying about Courtois. Obviously we disagree.
Yeah. You get it?
Why do you think Courtois is the best?
Yeah, I realize the last two seasons, especially from 1920 to now, I think he's been the best. I think people just remember his first season, the 18-19 season, when Real Madrid had a nightmare, and Chelsea fans is just reposting it because they just don't like him, and you seen Courtois mistake all over Twitter and things. So people was making fun of him, but the last two seasons, I think he's been the best. Probably Neuer and Alisson. Yeah, I agree, but yeah, he up there for me. To Stegen, not better than.
Can I just ask you as well while we've got you, Samo? What do you think Real Madrid's starting 11 will be tomorrow?
I think we'll go with a back three.
Okay.
Mendy is normally playing a back four as a left back. He'll be in the back three and the left centre back. Nacho and Varane. Vasquez right wing back. He gonna drag Marcelo out of the whole left wing back. Normal midfield three with Vinicius and Benzema.
So you think you'll go over front two? You think you'll drop Asensio?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Very interesting. I'm just going to read this via Emil. So, sorry, can you read the message, please? Congrats on the 20K. Much love to you guys. Cal, Matt, and Drift will always be a support in the background. LFC to win at Madrid. Away goal is key. Emil, again, truly humbled and really grateful for the donation and what you have done behind the scenes as well. It doesn't go unnoticed and is very much appreciated. So thank you very, very much.
100.
Well, home, I'm going to come to you now. Liverpool's starting 11. I mean, I think we can all agree the back five picks itself at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't think Klopp's going to do anything crazy. The midfield and up front, though. And again, I think barring Salah and I'm only going to say Salah out the front three is a guaranteed starter, in my opinion, from what you read around websites and Twitter, etc. So, Wahom, I'm going to come to you first. Who do you think will be the starting midfield three, and who do you think will start up top for Liverpool?
Well, I think midfield we've got to be Thiago, Fabinho, and Ginny. I think that's the only midfield you can really go for because, we've seen how phenomenal Fabinho's been back in the six, where it should have been early on in the season. How that's totally transformed Thiago because he's a much more better player now. He able to play his normal game with Fabinho next to him, and then you also have to have Gini in the team. In these big matches, Gini's the man for the big occasions. So I think the one thing I would probably like to do is have Fabinho, Thiago sit in until Gini's get in the box for this one, because I do feel there's going to be goals for him there. So if he just have him a bit more further forward and tell him just to be the one making his late runs in the box, because I think there will be chances. Then up top for me, I know there's been a debate of this, and I think other than Salah, Joe has to start because I think we have. I know he came off the bench against Arsenal and scored, but in that first half before Joe came on, we didn't look like we were going to score at all. So, and plus for me, I think in this game, an away goal is going to be key, and I think if we score first, it puts Madrid on the back foot because of. They have to go all out in this game because of the weekend results with Atletico Madrid lost, and plus their Clásicos next weekend. So the first leg they're going to put all their effort in that to get as good a result as possible. So they don't have to do too much in the second leg at Anfield because they're going to be zapped for the Clásico. So I feel like if we can get that first goal, we're going to put Madrid on the back foot, and then it's going to open up the game for us. And I know Mane's not been great this season, and I agree with a lot of people when they say that Mane's been absolutely shocking at times this season. But I feel that we need to protect Robbo on that side of the pitch, because I think that's going to be the side where Asenio plays.
Potentially, yeah.
And I think he's very fast. Although he's not been amazing since he came off an injury, Asenio, he's still fast and he can still take a good shot from long distance. If you think back to when he was at the Youth World Cup, he lit it up for Spain. So I still think because of his pace, we have to protect Robbo. And I think if we don't have Mane there, although Jota can play there, if you played for Firmino in the middle, I don't want Jota having to be up and running up and down the flanks, having to do that. I want him central and that means Bobby on the bench. And so as much as it's sad, obviously, because I was a massive fan of Bobby, and I still am, but I think his best position is on the bench. To come on in the game later on in the game when we're a goal or two up, we just want to see out the game. So for me, I think you have to have Mane. I know, it pains me. It pains me to see how to do that to Bobby, but we all know how he's been this season. He's not been good enough overall. And not to say that Mane's been great. Mane's probably just as poor as Bobby, but I think in this game you need Mane's defensive attributes on that flank to protect Robbo, and that means you have to have Jota in the middle and then Salah on the other side. And I think when we look back to the Atlanta away game, we blitzed Atlanta on the counter attack with that pace. I think those three come alive when they play together. There's linking up play, the combinations there. So that'd be my team.
Fair enough. Steve, do you agree with Waham?
Yeah, I agree. Couple different points on it, though. I mean, I think that is going to be the midfield three. That seems to be Klopp's trusted midfield three this year. And I also think, going back to Drifty's point, when you think about, what Real Madrid's midfield's good at with Kroos and Modric and Casemiro, I think those three of Gini, Thiago, and Fabinho is like the perfect combination of guys to shut down how Real Madrid likes to play and how those three like to play. We're going to be cutting off all those passing lanes. They like to play out of the back, and having those three just running all over the place, it's going to be very, very hard for them to get anything going in the midfield. And they don't like to track back. So I think it has to be those three in the midfield. And again, the front three, it's very interesting because I've talked about it on our podcast a lot. I mean, I feel like Jota has to start because it's no question he's been a lot better than Firmino this year, and his pressing has even picked up incredibly. He knows exactly what he's doing. But when he's in there, I just feel like the front three of Mane, him, and Salah, their movement is impeccable. Like they're always interchanging with each other. It's very hard to shut that down. The only thing that concerns me about starting Jota is then you kind of lose that impact sub if you need it at the end of the game. Because as good as Firmino is, it's perfect to have Firmino as a sub if we're in a winning position, he can help kill the game off. But if we need to go get a goal, we then don't have that off the bench. Like you can't really trust Shaqiri to do that. You can't trust Ox to do that. So if we need a goal, where is it going to come from if Jota starts? But I think it's so important to get the first goal in this game. So I think Jota would have to start with Mane and Salah up top.
Fair enough. Matt, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I said on, earlier on, I was in the preview of Ryan, that I think the front three, what I would do is I'll go Mane, Salah, and Jota. Because here's the thing, Jota's the guy in form, so you also don't want to dishearten him as well, because he's probably thinking, well, I've come on now and scored 2 goals, and you're going to drop me for a massive game. The flip side is you might hurt Bobby's confidence, because Bobby's just recently come back. But again, he's not firing on the same rate as Jota. We just have to call it what it is. And I think Real Madrid, especially because here's the thing, he could put Jota on the right. We've seen it before. I know what Wahom was saying about not wanting to have Jota on the wing. I agree. But I also feel like as well, we have to protect Trent as same way we protect Robbo, because I think Vinicius Jr. is going to be playing on the other side. And if we're talking about pace, he's electric, and he can be very electric in a one-on-one situation. So, and I'm wondering whether Salah would have the discipline to stick to that role. So that's a tough one. But I still feel like, though, the guys made a point. We are better from countering with those three, with the pace. We showed it against Atlanta, and just the interchangeability that you have. The problem is when you play Bobby Firmino, I do feel like our link-up play can be better. But then when it comes to finishing off that move, sometimes he is behind play, and the others are being marked so tightly that because Firmino's not there to make that last decoy run, that's when a move kind of slows down or breaks apart. Whereas with Jota, it's very much just like, I know this guy's kind of quick, so I'm just gonna lay off and make my run straight away. You know what I mean? Jota's very much like head down, run with the ball and be direct. Bobby Firmino sometimes can, to his detriment sometimes, take that extra touch and the move is kind of broken down. It's like a good and a bad thing, because he's such an elegant and extremely gifted footballer, like in the mind as well. So, but I will go with the 3 that the guys have already mentioned. I agree with them.
And Drifty yourself.
It'll start Bobby and bring Jota off the bench, I reckon.
You seem upset about that.
No, I'm not upset. I feel like it's a feeling out process, as I said earlier. I don't mind the first half of the football match, seeing what Real Madrid are about. They're about this life. Should we be scared? What you want? What you saying? And I think we need a possession footballer on the pitch while we're doing that. And you know what? If we realise that they are there for the taking, bring on Jota for the second half and just do them in right at the end. You know what I mean? It's a risky game because they could score a couple of goals and you could be chasing, but in Europe, away from home, a lot of the time it's about getting an away goal or two. You don't want to lose the game and you never decide or try to lose the game. But as long as you can get a couple of away goals and then you know that if you can bring them back home again, you've got advantage, then, you know what I mean, you try and just get those away goals. So I don't mind if he starts Firmino, even though I get why everyone wants him to start Jota. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes. Klopp won't leave Firmino out of a big game, in my opinion.
He won't. You're right. We know what we're gonna get. We're just talking about what we would do.
Yeah,
you can't. You hit nail in the head. I think when it comes to big European games, he always goes with his tried and tested. And remember, before we had our kind of midfield like reshape, we always used to say it's always going to be Henderson, Wijnaldum, and I think it was Milner at that time.
Yep.
We always used to say all the time, like, that's the midfield. No matter what, no matter who was playing, who was on form, it was those tried and tested. He's going to do the same thing again, I think, for the front three. I just personally would go Jota because I understand your point, though, feel him out and whatnot. But at the same time, I want us to go there and send a message. I want us to do that. And sometimes I feel like an attacking Liverpool is the best Liverpool, rather than trying to feel out what the other team's trying to do and counteract what they're trying to do, because we don't have the same players that we did at the start of the season.
Is there a case that we have to go all out in the first leg because of our Anfield record?
We might have to, actually.
Our Anfield record, is not looking good in this season.
What better way to undo the hoodoo of Anfield than having a European game there, though? Do you know what I mean? Like, hopefully that can be the... Because we can't get too carried away with being worried about playing at Anfield because we all of a sudden had this horrific form. Because if you lot remember, in the first half of the season, our away form was horrific. So if we've managed to turn that around, we can't worry about playing back at the place that was a fortress for about 84 million years. Like, it you know what I mean? We remember, Mane never lost a home game since he signed for the club, you know? So I know the fans not being there is a big deal, but eventually, Anfield's got to be a place we win again. In fact, we're better to start than Aston Villa at the weekend because trust Grealish to be fit again when we're playing.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Always.
Like, bloody hell, man. It's always got to be harder, innit? Always got to be harder.
But it's Liverpool. We always do things like we can never do simple things. Do you know what's going to be? You know what? I'm just going to say it right now. It's going to be some mammoth affair tomorrow. I'm going to do it. It's going to be some mammoth game. Shots are flying everywhere. 2-2. Liverpool's got to bring it back to Anfield. It's going to be the one where they go up and then we got to score 2 or 3. We just never seem to do things easy. Like, I just want us to just go to Real Madrid and beat them. Like, just not just have to be comfortable. Just go and beat them. Because it's about sending the message. I don't want them to think that they can come back to Anfield and do anything. And you said it as well, Jeff, with no fans there, teams treat Anfield very differently, regardless.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. But Hurricane Matt's got to stop though on the real.
Bro, I said it against Arsenal, bro. I'll say it again.
All right, score prediction time. So obviously, Drift, we know you're not going to do one unless you've got to change your heart.
I think we might get a draw though.
Okay. I'll take that, Drift. I'll take that.
It might be an away draw, yeah. If it's a score draw, then I would take it as well.
Samo, Real Madrid fan, what do you think the score's going to be?
2-1 Madrid.
Ooh. Okay, fair enough. You better block me on Insta and Twitter.
No, I've got a quick question for Samo. I know this is slightly off topic. You know, what's his name? You know, your winger. Why does his name just escape me?
Asensio.
Asensio. That's it. Why the hell did it? Yeah, he come to with a lot of hype, like a lot of hype.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I wanted to give some credit. I wanted to give some credit. Remember when Half-Hoop and Dev long time now football banter is, and Dev and Half-Hoop was hyping him, and he was trying to warn them, do hype him. And look where he comes to now. He's one of the worst players I've ever seen.
but what do you actually think happened though? Because he was touted at being like the new like Real Madrid super sub, isn't it?
Sam, are you there?
We might
So, to be fair, he had a ACL injury, but he had an ACL injury now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, I forgot about that. Yeah, he missed a lot of football.
Bad injury.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. That's them ACLs, man. Them ACLs, they're freaky, man. The only thing that gives me hope about ACL injuries is when I watch Danny Ings doing bits, and I'm like, he had both his knees done, and he didn't even lose any pace, bro. He must have had about, I don't know, 8 hamstring strains, bro. Because if you said they'd take your hamstring out to fix your knee, and he's got both knees redone, and he's still got that much pace, bro, I don't know what the hell was going on in his hamstring, bro.
Mentality. Danny Ings has got like quality mentality. Like to come back.
But if you take out 2 strings from his hamstring and he's still got that much pace, then you know what I mean. He must have been quicker than I remember.
Yeah. Steve, your thoughts? What's the score going to be?
I think it's going to be one of those games. This is going to be annoying Spanish soccer where they spend 20 minutes on the ground rolling around from injuries and stuff.
Definitely.
1-1. I think. I think we'll go in with a draw, get 1 away goal, which is going to be massive for us. Goal scorer has got to be Salah. He's gonna be playing with a vengeance. So 1-1 from me.
Fair enough. We're home.
I'm torn. My head says, my heart says 2-1 Liverpool. My head says 2-2, which I'll take as well. 2-2.
Okay. Matt.
I'm caught between 2-1 and 3-1. If I'm being honest, we're winning the game. I think we're winning the game. I think it just depends, innit? Because the game could be a lot tighter than maybe what I expect. But it's because I think Salah, as Wahome says, got a point to prove, and Diego. Listen, Jota, whether he starts or not, I think Jota's going to cause them problems. Whether he comes on for half an hour or whether he plays the full game. It's either 2 or 3-1. I'm going to stay constant. I said 3-1 in the last preview. I'm sticking to 3-1, even though in my head it's probably going to be 2-1. But either or, we still win the game. So take from that what you will.
Yeah, I'm going 3-1.
Yes, bro. Listen.
So ambitious, man.
Hold on. Shouldn't we be positive, Drift? We don't think we shouldn't win the game.
If you look at the way we've been playing, I know the Arsenal game we were really, really good. But if you look at the way we've been playing this year as a whole, right now you men are outside with like a lemonade stand in the front garden and telling me that you're gonna be selling like drinks at flipping, I don't know, some kind of concert in a year's time. It's like the ambition. I respect it. I love it. It's all cool. But 3-1 away to Real Madrid. I feel you lot got to reel it in a little bit, man. I feel just got to reel it in just a little bit. You're not going a bit too ambitious.
All right, listen. If we beat them 3-1, this is getting clipped up straight.
We need a 4.
I'll be the first one I'll be the first one to come to the lemonade stand, but I'll buy it all. I'll buy it all. If we beat them 3-1,
no.
If we beat them 3-1, I want you to do the Alisson moustache.
Yeah.
Take off the rest of the beard and just leave the tash.
I just leave the moustache.
You have a deal.
All right.
You have a deal.
You guys heard that. Wahome, Steve, you guys are witnesses. Everyone watching, 755 of you.
Jeff, I'm telling you, bro.
I can't wait. I want to see a shaving video as well. I want to see you scrape the beard as well. Just leave the tash.
You know, I'll have my beard back in about 2 days. Yeah, no. God never blessed me up here, but he blessed me around here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm happy for you, Drift, that you can grow a beard in 2 days. Congrats to you.
And I'll give man the real ravishing Rick Rude. You see me?
Ravishing.
So guys, we're going to wrap up there. What I will ask from everyone watching is do make sure you smash the like button if you haven't already. Also, leave your score predictions in the comments below. Got to say a massive thank you to Samo, who came over and did a video of us from a Real Madrid standpoint and perspective. Massive shout out to Yanks of the Kop doing some great stuff. So make sure you go and follow them as well. Steve, Wahome, thank you very, very much for coming on. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you to you guys. Congrats on 20K again. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, man.
that.
Appreciate that.
He's having
Thank you. And we will be back again later this evening at 7:05 for our Monday night live show. We've got some good talking topics for that as well. So if you have any questions that you want to ask us before that show as well, drop us a DM or send us a message and we'll make sure we speak about that on the show as well. So yeah, absolute pleasure, people. And until next time, stay safe, stay blessed. We are Kopish and we are out, people. Take care.
Peace.
Peace.